Hey, I saw this Japanese documentary, the short documentary, which is nominated for the Academy Award this year. So I got curious and I got to see this. This is available and you can watch in the YouTube. I think New York Times has this particular movie out. So I watched it and I had a little bit nostalgic but mixed feeling about this particular thing. It's the director of the movie is, I think, Japanese person, but actually she is half of Japanese and some European, like a British maybe, half person, and so she became interested in about Japanese educational system early on, like a elementary school educational system. So she searched for the school and shot this particular documentary. And it's about this beginning is this particular music teaching, primarily percussion type of music, drums and tambourines and cymbal, all this stuff. The kids are chosen to play some of those, but of course the Japanese educational systems, there's a competitions involved there. So some kids are chosen and very happy, but some kids are the lost opportunity and are crying in this particular film. And this particular film, I think, focused on this one girl who kind of persevere of those selection process and finally get to play the music in front of the other people. And so doing that, they showed lots of Japanese school curriculum, especially the cleaning the school themselves when they are like a first grade, like 7 years old. They are every day, they at the end of the school days, they clean the entire building inside out, you know. So that's very typical Japanese educational system. You oh, I don't know, supposed to clean. And when I was a kid, 1960s, right, 1950s and 1960s, that was the case too, that you every day you have this cleaning time, like half an hour maybe. Everybody has this particular area to clean. Sometimes they are cleaning, they are inside the classroom. On the floor you have to sweep and you have to mop, and outside you have to sweep, and all these things that you have to do, and everybody does very well there. And I as a kid, I didn't have much opinions on that, and I didn't particularly hate it doing that, you know, of course. And maybe I enjoyed it. It's kind of a relaxing time there. Like, you know, people are half-hearted and kids are half-hearted and enjoying the cleaning process. And also the movie shows the kids are serving the lunch themselves to all the other kids, and that's also very impressive. And I did that too when I was a kid. So pretty much like a memory of mine came back. And I think the approach for the movie makers is to show, you know, this particular phenomenon of Japanese educational systems, which may be questionable because of the, you know, the conformity and the enforced society that the kids early on are trained to do certain thing. Everybody has to do this particular thing without any complaints or anything, and so that's in a way, it's a good thing that because you learn the early on how to cooperate with other people, how to get your work early on, and you how to do it well, the particular work, and you have to compete with other kids to surpass the particular skill, like a musical instrument skills and art skills and so forth. All these things, sometimes I would say maybe for some kids it's very difficult, because I think lots of pressure coming to kids. I think just because I think parents are encouraging kids to do so. If the parents are more or less carefree, don't care if the kids succeed or not, and anyway, so I think that particular part of competition, I would say I didn't have much complaints, and I think even the kids who didn't do well, I don't think it wasn't that bad. If some people are chosen to do some certain thing, and that particular thing is pretty much everywhere in the world the same. Some kids are better than the others, so the kids better than the others do the task, like the singing or participating in the school plays. And in the US, for example, musical theater for high school kids, that's excellent productions of Broadway musical type of things like that. They produce very high quality musical program in there, and that's also some kids are better singers, better looking, and they're better acting. So of course some kids are chosen to play these main characters, but some other kids are put it in the role of some group of people together or whatever. And that's pretty much the same everywhere in the world. So that part doesn't bother me, but I think what bothers me is that maybe Japanese educational system is more keen on that everybody do the same thing. Everybody has to surpass others, and everybody has to do well at school. All these things, there's a tremendous pressures there. Of course, some parents are more pressures kids to do so, but some other not. But yeah, sometimes all these things maybe backfires. I would say maybe the kids grew up in that type of society, I think lose their own creativity, their own motivation to do their own thing, that you can do better than the others. In Japan, I think pretty much you have to do the same thing as other people. But this particular thing, when I was growing up in the school system, I didn't pay much attention to it, because kids understand that some kids are better than the others. So even though you are not chosen, you fail sometimes, but you don't feel that bad. So that particular part is good. but looking back, I'm older now. Looking back, that particular atmosphere, yeah, may not be good for individuals. Showing their own power, showing a unique power of some area of arts or athleticism or anything. And but I'm not sure about that too, that even the US, I think there's a lot of team sports, for example, and they practice and practice and practice, and only the good kids win, right? Because swimming is very, very popular in this country, and so early on, like a age group swimming competition all over the states are going on. My kids went through that, and some kids are very successful, some kids are very, very good in there, but some kids, of course, even though they like the sport, for example, they kind of fall off from the competition, and they became more or less like a failure type of thing there. And I noticed that when I was a student here, and I took swimming lessons from some coaches, and this particular coach was introducing this young guy who could teach us swimming lesson, flip turns, all kind of different strokes and stuff. But this coach was telling me, I was already adult in there, but getting this lesson from this young guy, but this young guy was couldn't get into the university's swim team because of competition. He was an excellent high school swimmer, but he couldn't pass their particular criteria to belong to this particular university's swim teams, which is, I thought already then, wow, US is very tough, there are lots of competitions going on there, and yeah, sometimes some people are better than the others, even though you try very hard. Only a handful of people success, if you can see, like gymnastics and swimming, of course, all these sports activities, football maybe, basketball, yeah, some people, of course, better than the others, and they are not always win. So that's pretty much the same in Japan or elsewhere, everywhere in the world. So I think in the end, I would say, even though I have a little bit opinions that I'm not sure. People say Japanese doesn't have this particular motivations to become different from others, and that could be true. But as an adult, you know what you're lacking, what your specialty is. So if you want to, you can be your own thing. And I think, as a matter of fact, today's young people are doing that pretty much. But now, compared to the atmosphere in the US, who kind of encourage this particular uniqueness, I think, yeah, but still, my opinion is not conclusive, because I'm not sure how much this particular Japanese system of education discourages the individual uniqueness. What I notice is just myself, for example, I try my best to do a certain thing, right? And I fail, and I kind of give up there. And but if some of the area I have a confidence and I have a tremendous drive to do certain thing, and that's probably nothing to do with this maybe conformity, I would say. Yeah, conformity itself sometimes I would say, of course, not good for everybody, but conformity in the sense of that everybody gets the better education, better opportunity, and working hard, disciplines. These things are, I think it's a good thing to have. So yeah, many Japanese people criticized by this, they don't have much drive for uniqueness, or a drive to create something new, something different from others. That could be true. Yeah, that could be true. And I see the lots of coming here from Japan to the US, and I saw lots of foreign people coming here from all over the world, actually, from Europe, from China, from Korea, from South America, from Saudi Arabia, everywhere. And of course, some people are better than the others. And I just, with open eyes, I just see them. They are very good in doing something. And I kind of formed the opinion that the Japanese people are very timid, maybe, very reserved because of this particular conformity problem. I think, to the extent that that is very true, probably, if they have much more ambitions, they could be better. I always compare with this Japanese cultural system and Korean cultural system. I have a tremendous respect of Korean cultural system because they somehow encourages this individuality, maybe. They encourage this particular attitude toward creating their own, creating the something new, even though it's not nothing new, but they quickly translate the Broadway musical from English to Korean language, and they perform very well. And so those things doesn't exist in Japan. I think probably the language, Koreans and Japanese are pretty much the same, but I think Korean is much more adopting those foreign culture to their own culture. And when Japanese do that, there's certain area, they are very successful there. But that's, I'm not sure. I think in the end, I think there's always competition. There's always this atmosphere that there's a talented people, more talented people than others. There's always competitions, and so you have to win the competition. And so that's everywhere the same. So watching this particular documentary, probably the reaction to this documentary is like some of the people kind of admire the Japanese educational system early on. At the age of 6 or 7, they learn those tasks and cooperation with other people, getting along with other people, but other people also pointed out that that discourages the individual's own creativity and so forth. I think both of them are true, actually. So yeah, it's interesting to see this particular film. I think yeah, I would like to see what other people think about this particular film, about Japanese educational system. あるよ。